The laughter started near the punching bags. It was loud, careless, the kind of laughter that bounces off mirrored walls and thinks it owns the room. Marcus Hale stood in the center of the mat, black belt tied perfectly at his waist, chest gleaming with sweat under the fluorescent lights. At 32, he was the pride of Iron Forge Gym, local champion. 3 state titles, a man whose name was spoken with admiration by some and envy by others. He had earned his black belt the hard way. Broken knuckles, torn ligaments, years of discipline. Pain had shaped him into something sharp. But somewhere along the way, sharp had turned into hard. Across the gym, near the lockers, Mrs. Alvarez pushed a yellow mop bucket slowly across the floor. She was small, maybe in her late 50s. Her dark hair streaked with silver and pulled into a tight bun. Her uniform hung loosely on her thin frame. She moved quietly, carefully, like someone who had learned not to take up too much space. Most people barely noticed her. Marcus did that day. He had just finished sparring, adrenaline still rushing through him. His students gathered around, laughing at a story he was telling about knocking out an opponent in under 30 seconds. "Coach, you think anyone here could take you?" one of the younger guys asked, grinning. Marcus smirked. "Not unless they've been hiding some serious skills." His eyes drifted toward Mrs. Alvarez as she wrung out her mop. A thought sparked, careless, cruel. "What about her?" he said loudly, nodding in her direction. "Hey, Mrs. A, you want to fight?" The gym erupted in laughter. Mrs. Alvarez paused. She looked up slowly, eyes calm but unreadable. "I don't think that's a good idea," she said softly. Marcus spread his arms theatrically. "Come on, we'll go easy. Might be good cardio for you." More laughter. Phones came out. Someone whistled. For a moment, she just stood there, hands resting on the mop handle. Then she did something unexpected. She parked the bucket against the wall. The laughter faded slightly. She walked toward the mat, her steps steady. When she reached the edge, she slipped off her worn sneakers. Her socks were thin, almost threadbare. Marcus's grin widened. "You sure about this?" She met his eyes, and for the first time, something shifted in the room. Her gaze wasn't embarrassed. It wasn't angry. It was focused. "Only if you promise not to cry," she said quietly. A few people chuckled nervously. Marcus bowed casually, mockingly. She bowed back, precise and respectful. The second they squared up, something felt different. Her stance was low, balanced, not clumsy, not unsure. Marcus hesitated for half a second. Then he lunged. He moved fast, controlled, aiming for a light sweep to bring her down gently, just enough to prove his point. He never saw her foot move. The next thing he knew, his balance was gone. His body hit the mat with a sharp thud that knocked the air from his lungs. The gym went silent. Marcus blinked up at the ceiling, confused. He had been thrown cleanly. He rolled to his feet quickly, face flushing. "Okay," he muttered, shaking his arms loose. "Nice one." This time he came in harder. She pivoted. Her elbow stopped an inch from his throat. Her leg hooked behind his knee. In one fluid motion, she sent him crashing down again, this time flat on his back, her hand pressing firmly against his chest, pinning him. He struggled. He couldn't move. The room was so quiet you could hear the hum of the air conditioner. She leaned closer, her voice barely above a whisper. "Strength without control is just noise." She released him and stepped back. Marcus sat up slowly, heart pounding for a reason that had nothing to do with exertion. His students stared at him wide-eyed. Phones were still raised, but no one dared laugh. He stood, breathing heavier now. "Where did you learn that?" he asked, unable to keep the edge out of his voice. Mrs. Alvarez walked to the side of the mat and picked up her sneakers. She spoke without looking at him. "My father owned a dojo in San Diego," she said. "I started training when I was 6. A murmur rippled through the room. She slipped her shoes back on. "I earned my black belt at 16, she continued. "Second degree by 22. Marcus felt something twist in his stomach. What happened? one of the students asked softly. She smiled faintly. Life. She picked up her mop handle again. My husband got sick. Medical bills don't care about trophies. After he passed, I took whatever job I could find. She looked at Marcus then. Not accusing, not bitter, just honest. You never stop being who you are, she said. Even if the world forgets to look. No one moved. Marcus felt heat rise in his face, but it wasn't anger now. It was something far heavier, shame. He had built his identity on being seen, on being admired, on being the strongest person in the room, and he had just been dismantled by a woman everyone overlooked. He swallowed hard. I'm sorry, he said, the words scraping his throat. She studied him for a long moment. Then she nodded. Apology accepted. That could have been the end of it. But something inside Marcus refused to let it be. The next evening he arrived early. Mrs. Alvarez was already there, wiping down mirrors. He approached slowly. Would you? He cleared his throat. Would you consider teaching a class here? She paused mid-wipe. I'm the cleaning lady. You're a master, he said quietly, and I think my students need you. She searched his face, as if measuring whether this was another joke. It wasn't. 2 weeks later, a new name was added to the schedule, Alvarez Fundamentals. The first class was small. Curious students, a few skeptical ones. Marcus stood at the back, arms folded, watching. She moved with quiet authority, correcting stances, adjusting posture, explaining technique with patience and precision. There was no ego in her voice, no need to impress, just mastery. Over time, her class grew. Students who once chased flashy knockouts began focusing on discipline, on respect, on control. Marcus trained under her, too. The first time she corrected his stance in front of everyone, he felt that old sting of pride. But he didn't resist. He listened. Months later, during a regional tournament, one of their youngest students won gold. When reporters asked about the gym's success, Marcus didn't step forward. He gestured to Mrs. Alvarez. She's the reason, he said. She shook her head gently. We all are. That night, after the crowd left and the lights dimmed, Marcus stayed behind, sitting alone on the mat. He thought about the version of himself who had laughed that day, who had needed an audience to feel powerful. He thought about the quiet woman with worn sneakers, who had carried greatness without demanding recognition. True strength, he realized, doesn't shout. It doesn't humiliate. It doesn't need applause. It shows up, it serves, it endures. Mrs. Alvarez turned off the last light and paused at the door. You coming, coach? She asked softly. Marcus stood, untied his black belt, and held it in his hands for a moment. Then he wrapped it back around his waist, not as armor this time, but as responsibility. Yeah, he said, walking toward her. I'm coming. And for the first time in his career, he felt like he truly understood what it meant to earn it.